Tell me a little bit about how you found out about SOMAX.
Well, I found out about SOMAX through a reference from a good friend who's also a very talented golfer, and she had heard about you, sent me to your website, and I did some diligence there and liked what I saw and thought there could be a chance for significant improvement based on what I saw and read.
What did you feel that you might get some help with?
Well, I saw things on there that related to stiffness and the fact that you could help me with my flexibility, which has always been a very significant problem for me, especially as it relates to my golf swing.
How long have you been playing golf?
I've been playing golf off and on since I was 10 years old.
Oh.
I played golf as a youth, gave it up in high school, resumed it towards the end of college, and then dropped it again until I was 40.
How long has stiffness been a problem with your swing?
Since I was 10. Stiffness has always been a major issue for me. When I was a boy and taking swimming classes, I had a friend who was a very good swimmer, and he could put both his palms on the pool deck. I could barely, after stretching hard, touch my toes.
Before you came to SOMAX, what had you tried to improve your flexibility for golf?
I've been working hard at trying to get my flexibility improved, primarily through stretching. I've done some core work, but it's really been a function over the last year and a half of stretching and trying to make my muscles much more flexible.
The first time you came out for a day at SOMAX. You spent a day here.
I did spend a day. It was in February. We spent 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon. You showed me some of the way to reduce microfibers. We talked a lot about what that meant. Then in the afternoon we worked on my putting, which has been significantly improved since our session.
After just that one day you were here, your putting has gotten better?
It has gotten better. I think that now I have a better feel for my stroke, number one, and I don't find myself either hitting at the ball or moving over the ball.
You have more of a pendulum stroke, and also you notice that your head is more still than it was before.
I noticed both those things, and I think that part of that comes from the fact that my shoulders were a little bit better after our session, and my neck was significantly improved so that I wasn't stiff and moving in a board-like manner.
Now we're 2 months later, we're in the end of April, and we've finished the first week here. We went out this morning to the course for the first time so that you could hit some balls. And tell me about that.
Well, we had been working towards a particular swing pattern, using the left knee as a way to sequence the swing, to start from the bottom up. And we've hit balls in the backyard into a net, but not live. So this morning, by going out, we had the chance to see in action what the ball flight would look like, how far the ball would travel. And so we started, I hit a 9-iron using the techniques that we had worked on, and I probably hit it somewhere between 15 and 20 yards longer than I normally do. This progressed to a 5-iron, which I hit reasonably well, but was a little bit more difficult with the knee. It's a longer club, so we worked on some drills, talking together about how to perhaps make the left knee work a little more effectively with that longer club. That helped a significant amount. We moved on to the driver, and I hit drives longer than I have consistently perhaps in my entire life.
During the week that you were here, how much yardage do you think you gained on your driver?
I would guess that the length improvement is somewhere between 20 and 30 yards.
What about the accuracy with the driver?
I've always kind of sprayed the driver, especially with a left-to-right ball flight, an occasional slice thrown in there. But this morning, hitting it with the effective use of the left knee, the pattern dispersal was very small, and it went where I aimed it.
When you started here, what did you think was responsible for your lack of flexibility?
I just thought I had very tight muscles. I knew now more about microfibers and that they would bind the muscles together, but I never understood until this week how much binding they actually do and how much tension my body carried, which prevented me from maintaining or achieving any flexibility.
When you came here, did you think that your stiffness was kind of genetic? What were your thoughts about your stiffness?
My stiffness has always been there. So I assumed that biologically, atomically, that's what I was, a very stiff individual. And the only way that I could have improved it up until coming here was through stretching. It has helped, but nothing compared to what we've achieved even in this 1 week.
Before you came here, I sent you some forms to fill out.
Yes.
And one of the boxes on the form was list any traumatic incidents or accidents. And what was your response in that box?
None.
Since we started releasing microfibers and tension, what's happened to that box?
It's probably multiple pages worth of things that are somewhat or actually traumatic.
And what were the kinds of things that you found were actually responsible for your stiffness?
My stiffness, I think, is a direct function of two things. One, physical trauma, and I had a number of physical traumas as a youth, but more recently, my professional career has been one involved in finance and in turnaround of troubled companies. Those are extremely stressful environments, and in working through together, I realized that my entire professional career has been one of stress and tension.
You mentioned that you had some accidents and things when you were young. What kind of accidents were they?
I think nothing unusual for a young boy who runs around and loves athletics, running into walls, falling over and hitting your head, kind of a bad accident, learning how to ride a bicycle and pitching over the front of the handlebars, landing in very roughly. Later on in high school athletics, being almost knocked unconscious while playing soccer. Then later, a motorcycle accident, a number of automobile accidents, that one in which I was struck from behind that was very traumatic. So a series of physical events that were more traumatic than I really thought about.
For any of these accidents that you had growing up, did you ever have to go to the hospital?
The good news is on these accidents, I never had a hospital visit. I had a lot of doctor visits.
Okay. And did you ever have any broken bones?
I've never had a broken bone.
So,
I've sprained every finger on my hand playing basketball multiple times, but I've never broken a bone.
was it kind of surprising to you that these ordinary kind of things like falling off a bike or, being in an automobile accident where you didn't have to get an ambulance or something, or I think you had an accident where you were playing at pole vaulting when you were a little kid and fell down. Other times you got the wind knocked out of you. Did it ever, before you came here, did it ever occur to you that these kind of normal, kind of day-to-day things could really cause you to lose flexibility?
The short answer is absolutely not. I had no idea.
Before you came here, did you have any sense that being in a high-stress profession where you're turning around troubled businesses that haven't been able to make it on their own, and you have to come in and clear up the mess and turn it around and sell it for a profit, did it ever occur to you that the time pressures and the financial pressures of something like that could be adding to your lack of flexibility?
Short answer again, no. To me, that environment is one that I've always operated in, that my friends operate in. It's normal. Yes, it's full of stress, but I had no idea that you could link that stress to inflexibility.